After a betrayal, your mind typically enters a reactive state, where every thought is tied to the person who hurt you. To regain control, you first have to level out the noise. Moving past this requires a shift in focus, away from the desire for an apology or revenge and toward a structured system of boundaries. This process requires three things: the memory of that recent betrayal, a physical piece of paper, and the decision to stop reacting to provocations. By replacing emotional retaliation with a series of deliberate psychological shifts, you stop participating in the dynamic the other person created. People often inflict pain as a means of exerting influence. They are looking for an emotional baseline to confirm they still have the power to affect you. The most effective counter is to remove the feedback loop. This means no arguments, no defensive explanations, and no digital reach-outs. When an aggressor acts, they expect a reaction to validate their effort. Withholding feedback deprives them of the result they need. Explaining your pain often backfires. It traps you in their logic, giving them more information to use against you. This is where indifference becomes a tool. While those who are hurting often try to pass that pain to others, responding with a lack of interest breaks that momentum. Choosing tactical silence isn't just about being passive. It is a calculated move to ensure the other person no longer has a seat at the table of your internal life. Maintaining this distance requires more than just silence. It requires a change in your environment. Their presence, whether physical or digital, acts as a constant prompt for your brain to re-engage with the hurt. You have to make the separation literal. This involves walking away from shared spaces, unfollowing their updates, and cutting off the connection entirely. An act of betrayal reveals more about the other person's internal limitations than it does about your value. Your self-respect serves as a crucial filter here. It allows you to recognize when a situation is beneath your energy, preventing you from sinking to the level of the person who hurt you. By removing yourself from the digital and physical loop, you leave the other person alone with the consequences of their own behavior. There is a common instinct to wait for the other person to make it right through an apology or a moment of clarity. To move past this, use your paper to write down one specific realization. Your sense of resolution is your own responsibility, not theirs. Expecting an external apology keeps you tethered to the person who caused the damage, giving them the final say in when you are allowed to heal. Often, the hostility you faced was a reaction to strengths you have that the other person lacks. Their attempt to break you was a reflection of their own insecurity. Choosing to forgive internally is a way to forget the grievance, but it should not be confused with returning to a harmful environment. When you create your own closure, the other person's future actions, or their lack of an apology, lose the ability to disrupt your stability. Even long after the direct connection is cut, you may still feel a surge of energy fueled by anger or a desire to prove the other person wrong. You can redirect that specific energy into an upward trending goal. This might mean pursuing a professional milestone or hitting a new physical benchmark. Tangible personal growth is a highly effective response because it turns a negative experience into the fuel for a measurable improvement in your own life. The goal is to reach a point where your current life is so rewarding that the memory of those who hurt you becomes irrelevant to your daily happiness. This redirection ensures that the initial damage doesn't just stop hurting, it becomes the catalyst for building a future on your own terms. By implementing these 4 shifts, choosing silence, severing ties, internalizing closure, and prioritizing growth, you have built a stable foundation for your own peace. You have won a psychological battle simply by refusing to play by the other person's rules. Your focus is now your most valuable asset. Guard it carefully and let your continued progress serve as the final word in this chapter of your life.